Hi, I'm Diana Montford, the world's first transgender television journalist. Born male, became female. I always have to make that clear because I wear my hair so short. People say, what direction are you going in? You know what? I'm just going to be non-binary and solve the whole problem. But anyway, my guest is painter, artist, photographer, animator, poet, lesbian activist, Lucia Cammarata. We are going to look at some of Lucia's wonderful paintings. They are full of symbolism. They are abstract paintings. They are quite moving in many ways. Tell us about your paintings.
Well, the important thing about these paintings is they were painted between 1993 and the year 2000, before I lost the ability to stand.
You lost the ability because you have multiple sclerosis and you are in a wheelchair.
That is correct.
Tell us about your paintings.
Now, the paintings, they do have a lot of female and vaginal imagery. Some of them are gateways. Some of them, they're evocative. They're supposed to be evocative, and because I'm a woman, they are very womanly, and it's noticeable in the paintings, in the imagery, and you're correct about that. Some of them are multimedia. Most of them are 50 by 90. The rest of them are about 36 by 48.
What is multimedia?
They have, in the paint, they have sawdust, they have tar, they have modeling paste.
Deliberately.
Deliberately. They have strips of canvas, they have rope, they have chain, things like that. So they're mixed media paintings. Now, there are a lot of them, so I think we should look at them forthwith.
I think we should forthwith.
And,
even fifthwith. Okay.
Yeah, and with band and bandwidth.
Yes.
And wide-bodied and double wides and all of that.
And well hung. Okay, here we go.
Here are the paintings.
Here are the paintings. Let's look at these things.
Let's look at the painting.
Those vaginal symbol paintings especially. wow, those were really something, you know. Those are really beautiful and meaningful.
Thank you. Thank you, Diana. They came from a time that was very different from the time now. It came from a time of dynamism for me, but also a time of change. As you see the paintings, you'll see that some of them are more abstract than others, and you'll also see, again, there's dynamism in them. And
What do you mean by dynamism?
that they're active, that your eye travels through them from area to area, excuse me, and they have depth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though they're two-dimensional, you experience something more dimensional, more active. You know, it's and also as I said before, it was when I photographed the paintings for this show. It was a moment I had, a pausing moment I had for what I've accomplished already and what I'm intending to accomplish in the future.
Mm.
And yes, my physical circumstances due to MS have changed, as you pointed out, and as I pointed out myself, that I had painted them when I could still stand, and I can no longer. But what I do now is equally valid and builds on what I've done in the past. So the visual language is ongoing, it's further developing, it's just developing in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on canvas anymore, it's not with paint, it's not with paintbrushes that have to be cleaned with turpentine. It's in photographs, it's in animation, it's in video, and it's in writing. And I also draw every day. Mm-hmm. I always draw. I've always drawn. I have stored up about maybe 8 plastic boxes filled with sketchbooks.
Mm-hmm.
I fill a sketchbook every 3 weeks. And that is, again, a continuation of the work you've seen here on this show, just in slightly different form. But I feel that due to my MS and my inability to stand and paint the way I did, I have grown and channeled my creativity into other areas that are equally fruitful and equally valid and equally how do you say it? I'm looking for the word. Self-fulfilling and expressive and also satisfying. So that's something to be taken into account, which is that illness causes growth. You know, a lot of, and I don't want to pontificate, but just looking at the work and then looking at what I do now, mm-hmm. just showed me, because all those greeting cards, which you may have seen in a different show, were basically created after the paintings. So again, this is about taking something in here and in my eyesight, in my brain, actually, in my creative visual field, and updating it, making it current, making it reflect the present day circumstances of my physiology, of my physiognomy, and my emotional state, and also how important it is for me to communicate what's in my heart visually to the world.
Now, you have websites where people can view your paintings, your greeting cards, your photographs. What is your what address do they go to on their computers?
Okay, there are 2 websites up right, the 3 websites up right now, and there is one in the works.
Okay, the painting one. Where do they go to?
That is LuciaCammarata.com, paintings 1993 through 2000.
Can you spell Cammarata?
Yes, of course I can. C-A-2-M-A-R-A-T-A. And I will put that as a crawl, as a lower third, and I will also put it as a title card at the end of the show.
Okay. And the greeting card website?
That is greeting and art cards, LuciaCammarata.com. And animation is animation and moving images, LuciaCammarata.com.
Okay, and
And I'll put all three of those up on the show
okay.
at the title at the end.
What inspired you to begin with to paint?
You know, the question is a valid one, obviously, but when I was a child, my parents brought me to a lot of museums, a lot of cultural events in general, a lot of music, a lot of dance, a lot of theater, a lot of museums, from a very, very, very young age. And it was very influential. And I was taken by visual art. I was just taken by it. I was subsumed by it. In my bedroom, I had a reprint of Matisse's Dancers, and I could see it from my bed, and I was about 3 years old at that time. And as I said before, we went to museums, and I was enthralled. I just was enthralled. I was taken by it. If you look at my early work from from kindergarten, before kindergarten at home, you will see a very mature young artist, and it's very surprising. It's not like, I didn't draw stick figures or anything like that. I did color-filled watercolors and stuff like that, more like Mark Rothko than like a child, but in pastel colors. So it's been going on. It's been in me for a very long time. Then my parents and I went to Europe, and that was really seminal. And not just seeing the great paintings in the museums and the sculpture in the museums, also seeing contemporary European art, contemporary American art, and of course the great cathedrals, and seeing how faith influenced art, you know, and the connection between faith and art, which is very important, which is funny in a sense, because I am not a particularly quote-unquote brick-and-mortar religious kind of person. In fact, I eschew that kind of conformity because I think it can harm a society and it can harm a person. But faith is a different matter. And to be an artist, and to be a woman, and to be a disabled woman, and to be a lesbian, you have to have a certain amount of faith, don't you think?
I think you have to be a woman to be a lesbian, although
That's true.
not always, but
No, but I think that these circumstances, it's not a faith like, or davening or seeing God. It is a faith in.
you didn't go to Catholic school, did you?
No, I didn't.
I did. This is how you make the sign of the cross. You did it wrong. Okay, yes. Okay, good. There, you got it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, I've not perfected that. So anyway, so I think you have to have a certain amount of
Paint, for one thing.
belief.
That too.
And that was what I think faith is a certain belief. It's a belief that there is something to communicate. Because all art is just communication.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's a different form of communication, but it is a way to reach out and affect someone else, to affect the viewer. And it's a way for the viewer to either find solace or disappointment or distress or revivification or joy, but like with the
For the ladies' room, well, what are they going to find, right?
or with the cathedrals they find joy. But anyway, So that's what I believe, and that's all I'm going to say. And I think we should start wrapping up, and then I'll put the time cards up.
Okay, well, anyway, my guest has been filmmaker, artist, photographer, poet, painter, the whole deal, Ms. Lucia Cammarata. She's also a lesbian activist, and she is the founder of Disabled Lesbians?
No, the League of Disabled.
The League of Disabled Lesbians. I love you a lot. I love Lucia and her paintings. I love you a lot, and even if nobody else loves you, I love you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.